Hey, what's good? What's good? I am back. One and only Paul Pickett, host of the Paul Pickett Podcast, aka Triple P. All right, we got a special guest. Let's introduce him right. Every fight I've seen in the square circle has not been a boring fight from this guy. Nothing but excitement in the squared circle. He will be returning at BKFC 92 in Boston, August 29th, which starts 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time at Fenway Park in Boston, Massachusetts, versus Peter Barrett. Let's bring on the one and only Elijah, the Buffalo Soldier Harris.
Hey,
Elijah, how you
Paul.
doing, man?
Good. How are you?
I'm doing good. How's training camp so far?
Camp's been going great.
That's good. That's good to hear. Before we get into your opponent, I want to ask you a few questions just about your background. Let's start here. Where did you get the nickname the Buffalo Soldier?
So it comes from having African American heritage on my dad's side. Some African American
Mm-hmm.
and Native American. Um,
Mm-hmm.
so yeah, every time I step in there to fight, I'm fighting for freedom. It looks differently today, but that's what it means to me. I'm fighting for family, fighting for honor.
Okay. So you got an MMA background. I've seen you had a good amount of fights. Is there a fight for you that is your most memorable?
Um, I mean that last one was pretty memorable. uh, but as far as MMA goes, probably my fight with Nazim Sadikov. It was a razor close fight. It was a decision, and I'm one of few people to take him to a decision. He's in the UFC doing very well for himself right now.
Okay. That's what's up. That's what's up. So you decided to transition from MMA to bare knuckle. What made you decide that bare knuckle was the right move for you?
Honestly, for me, it was one of those things that when I saw it, I just thought it looked pretty badass, looked cool, and it was something that I thought, I want to do that at least once. So I went to the tryouts, I got
Okay.
picked up, and in my debut, I had a viral 7-second knockout, which gave me the record for the fourth fastest. So I was like, well, I can't be one and done with this. I'm gonna have to do it again, and
Yeah,
just so happened the same thing happened. So here we are. I think I found my new home.
that's what's up. So what was going through your mind the first time you stepped into the BKFC ring?
Um, be first. Make sure I land before he does. Um, just be first.
And coming from MMA, what has been the biggest adjustment for you from MMA to bare knuckle?
So when I started my MMA career, I was a wrestler. My striking was not
Okay.
very good at all. So over the years, I've
Okay.
progressed into more of a striker, and I was the wrestler that has fallen in love with striking. But in MMA, I never had any knockouts or anything because I was trying too hard to stand and, get the knockout. So the biggest thing for me in transitioning to bare knuckle was focusing on punch accuracy, like punch placement, and building
Hmm.
the footwork to get me in position. Before, throughout my MMA career, I just relied on having really heavy hands and wrestling to wrestle
Hmm.
people to the ground and beat them up on the ground. In bare knuckle, you just got your hands. So I had to really work on footwork and getting myself in position to land those hard shots.
And how far have you think your footwork and placements come since your first fight?
Oh, it's drastically better for sure. I think if I were to fight myself from a year ago, I would completely mop the floor with myself. And that's a good thing, right? We should continue to get better.
Yeah, hell yeah. So, how much do you know about your opponent, Peter Barrett?
He's a seasoned vet. He's got a lot of MMA experience himself. He fought in the UFC, um, fought
Okay.
some solid competition in the UFC. Uh, he's a tough, scrappy guy. Um, he likes to switch stances. I know that he can fight in either stance. He's comfortable fighting both ways. So that's something that I've been working on myself throughout this camp, and I kind of started working on it some into the camp going into the fight prior with Rico. Is just being able to switch stances and be more fluent on either side.
So, what do you believe is his biggest strength?
Mm, I'm not sure. I mean, he has a TKO win in bare knuckle, and then he has a decision win. Um, I believe in that decision win, though. He broke his hand early on, so I would say just
Okay.
grit. I feel like he's gritty, to be able to have an injury
Break
early
your
on and
hand and
still
keep
find a
going.
way to
Yeah.
win. Yeah, that shows me that you have heart. Not everyone does, so that's probably
Yeah,
what
and
he
I
has going
watched
best for him.
the knockout he got. I mean, it's hard to tell from that short footage. I mean, he did come in kind of easy, poised, and it looked like he had some power behind that punch.
Right.
So, I mean, what do you think he gives you the most problems?
Um, if I'm not disciplined, I think that's the same for uh, just about anybody. If I get too overzealous, I know I hit hard, and when I land, most guys
Yeah,
don't like it. They react a certain way. And for me, I smell the blood and I want to go for the kill. But if you're not careful, that can leave you susceptible to catching counter shots, as we saw in my last fight with Rico. I walked into some things
yeah,
because I had him hurt and I wanted to capitalize rather than taking my time, being patient, and, letting the finish come, which is something that
yeah.
I've worked on drastically for this camp.
And it's funny you say that because every time I'm watching from home and a guy starts to get a guy injured, you hear Chris Lytle always say, you know, get on him, you know. And like you said, sometimes you might not need to. Sometimes you might need to be patient and just,
Right.
break them down more and wear them down more and punish them more. So, I was watching his last fight. Like I said, he looks poised. How do you plan to make it uncomfortable for him?
Um, well, I'm always very fast paced and aggressive off the bat.
Yeah,
So
yeah,
it's like you got to be ready to fight right now. You know what I mean? Um, so I think that in itself makes most guys kind of uncomfortable. Um,
yeah.
and at least, take a little bit to try to slow me down and settle in, right? But everyone knows off the bat I'm coming forward and I'm swinging hard. So I think that in itself will play a part.
I know we were talking about a recap. We was watching a fight card where I think it was the Uruguay. The guys were like dapping each other down and hugging each other before like every round. What's your opinion on like fighters dapping at the when they toe the line?
Um, so for me, I like to think all martial arts and stuff are founded on respect at the end of the day. So I like
Okay,
to dap it up at least in the beginning. Um, Now
okay,
not like between rounds or whatever, like when at the beginning of the fight, yeah, and then throughout the fight, if we've earned each other's respect, then I feel like, yeah, sure. But, if we're in the middle of a round and we're broken up for something, I'm not trying to touch your hand. Like right now, we're fighting.
yeah. Sometimes as a fan, it's kind of cringy. Like it just gets too much. Like y'all here to knock each other's heads off, as guys be
Right.
trying to, you know, high five every chance they can get. Oh man. So do you expect this fight to go the distance?
No, no, I do not. If it does, then I'd say it's fight of the night candidate, but I don't see it going the distance.
And I know I've seen I think y'all got a time limit on this fight card. I seen where Fenway Park says it has to be done by 10. Like, does
Okay.
that put any pressure on fighters to try to finish their opponents any faster?
I'm not sure. I can't really speak for anyone else, but for me, I'm trying to find the finish every single time. I don't want to leave it in the hands of the judges, you know. Why give them a chance to screw you over if you don't have to?
Or the doctor?
Right, exactly.
Because I seen guys, like winning the whole fight, and then they get one cut, and the doctor's like, "Up, stop it."
Yeah, I had a fight at the Prudential Center against Jeff Lentz. I had him busted up, and between rounds, someone said that they thought I may have vomited, even though I never vomited anywhere. Um, and the fight was stopped due to the fact that they thought I might have vomited.
What?
Yeah,
That's crazy. Who said that they thought you vomited?
it was someone from, it was like the chief medical examiner from the New Jersey State Athletic
Oh
Commission.
my god,
Yeah, so
that's
there was no
crazy.
overruling it.
So you started out with two straight wins. Last two didn't really go your way. Do you feel pressure to get a win, or do you just want to come out and put on a good show?
Um, Both, right? I'm not
Both.
too naive to know. Yeah, I'm not too naive to know that this next fight kind of determines the projection of my career with the BKFC, I think. But at
Mhm.
the same time, I don't want to add any extra pressure on myself to try to go out and overperform. At the end of the day, I know if I just show up and do what I'm capable of doing, I'll get the job done.
That's what's up. That's what's up. So how old are you now?
I'm 30, so just getting into my prime.
30. You're young for yeah, you're young for bare knuckles still.
Yeah,
There's a lot of old farts in here with the championship
yeah,
belts.
yeah.
I'm 47, so I can say that most of the guys I seen with the titles is like my age, damn near.
hmm
So where do you see the Buffalo Soldier 1 year from now?
1 year from now, I can see myself uh, finishing out the remaining three fights on my contract with 3 wins and putting myself in a position to challenge for a belt. That's the goal. I want to become a world champion at this.
So you got three remaining fights on your contract.
Yes, sir.
Now, how many like did you sign for? Are you allowed to say that?
I think I can. I signed a 5 fight deal.
5 fight deal. Okay.
Yeah, and I had 2 fights with them before signing the deal.
Okay. Okay. So is it? Do you think it's better to sign these multi-fight deals? Because I notice when people don't have these multi-fight deals, like some people have been leaving the company and go to other companies because they can't get fights.
Um, I'm not I'm not sure. I mean, it seems to work out for me. They've been keeping me busy. I'm a fighter that likes to stay active, and I haven't really had an issue with that. You know, I don't know if some of the guys are a little pickier than I am. You know, I say yes to every name
Uh,
that crosses my desk. So
that's what's up.
I think that kind of helps me. I've been very active for them.
Now, this fight coming up, man, Fenway. I mean, how excited are you about fighting in Fenway? They say they could be about 20,000 people in there, possibly.
Yeah, I mean that's cool. I think it's pretty cool. Um, Honestly, the location really doesn't mean that much to me. I
Okay.
know it's a super historic arena and everything, but for me, honestly, I just love the fight. So it's an honor to be, someone asked to fight on a large stage, but it wouldn't make a difference to me if we were fighting in someone's backyard. At the end of the day, I just love to fight. So I'm looking forward to the fight more than I'm looking forward to the fact of where it's at.
Does the bigger the crowd, does it like bring nerves into it at all?
Um, Not for me, not anymore. But I've been competing for a long time. I wrestled in college before I started fighting, so for a while I've been competing in front of big crowds, um, and I don't know. I think I like it more. You dig a little deeper. I don't know. I like the
Okay.
roar of the crowd. Um, I've also had MMA fights early on that are just in an auditorium, and there's barely 500 people there. Um, I don't know. I like the bright lights, the loud roaring crowd, and it doesn't bother me if I walk out and I'm getting booed by 20,000 people because they're all going to be on their feet cheering for me by the end of the fight.
Yeah. And like, so I mean, so he's the hometown guy, right?
Yeah,
Does that kind of make you a little bit more motivated, like beat somebody up in front of their home crowd?
yeah, yeah. And I mean, you go into it, thinking like, well, everyone here is for him, you know what I mean? Like,
For
so we
him?
can't let it
Yeah.
in the judge's hands.
Yeah. Definitely, because I'm not even gonna bring up a fight that I'm thinking of, but it was a fight I felt like because the guy was at his home crowd that the judges
Hmm.
definitely did favor him.
Yeah.
Definitely happens. Where do you fight out of?
Tactical Combat Academy in Greencastle, PA, under Josh Hummer.
Okay,
Um, yeah, I've been there since 2017.
okay. You're from Pennsylvania then?
Yes, sir.
Born and raised?
Yep.
That's what's up. That's what's up. Tell us, I mean, about you said what is it? Tactical combat?
Yeah, Tactical Combat Academy.
Tell us a little bit more about them.
Um, so Coach Josh, his gym Tactical has been around. December will be 21 years. Um,
Okay.
and he's a really good coach. He's a jiu-jitsu black belt. He's a luta livre black belt, which I think there's only three of those in Pennsylvania. Um,
Okay.
like maybe 15 in the country. Um, he's a Muay
Damn.
Thai crew, so he can teach a little bit of everything. He is also trained in Filipino Kali, like the stick and knife fighting. He has classes for
Mm.
that. Uh, yeah.
So like you bare knuckle guys don't really have problems finding people to help y'all train with bare knuckle at all, right?
No, none. I don't. But I come from an MMA gym, so we're, used to doing all the grappling and the clinching and everything like that too. Some of the guys that come from like a boxing background, they're gonna have to learn more of the clinching and dirty boxing that they're not allowed to do. But um, yeah, I mean, I have several guys that give me good work and wasn't much of an adjustment for them.
Speaking of the clinch, it feels like the clinch is just really, really important in this sport. How do you feel about your clinch game?
Really good. I feel like that's probably better than my regular boxing. It just so happens that I got the quick knockouts, but I'm definitely more of an inside fighter. With my wrestling background, that's where I feel more comfortable is pressuring, being in your face, and wearing you down.
And that's pretty much what I would think the game plan would have to be. I'm not an expert, but it feels like when a guy's got a few inches on you of height, you got to go inside as much as possible. I'm thinking.
Yeah.
Am I right or wrong about that?
No, definitely. You either want to be inside or out, but it's harder to land if you're out and he's the longer guy, right? So you kind of have to get to
Yeah.
the inside, create small angles, things like that.
It almost seems like the shorter you are, you got to have a clinch game in this sport. Would you agree with that?
Yeah, yeah, I think it's important. I plan on utilizing it.
And that's a good way to definitely make him uncomfortable. And I've seen, a fight card or two ago where a guy knocked the guy down a couple times in the clinch, especially with just a little punch to the face like that,
Hmm.
or some uppercuts in the clinch, and then
Yeah,
I mean even body shots. It's rare you see guys go down with body shots, but I mean it happens.
yeah.
So what do you want fans to know about Elijah Harris that they probably don't know?
Um, well, for the people in Pennsylvania, I'm a registered insurance broker. So if you need some life insurance,
Okay,
hit me up. I'll sell you some life insurance. Uh,
I know that's right. You might need to sell your opponent some, huh?
yeah. It doesn't hurt. I think everyone should have some. You know, I have a policy on myself.
How long you been doing that?
Um, so I'm kind of just getting started, to be honest. I
Okay,
started like a year ago, but I didn't really take it too seriously. And um, I work for a company that, like it's all on me pretty much, right? So I have to buy all my own leads and everything, and it takes money to make money.
okay,
So I played
yeah,
around with it
yeah.
for a while, and then ran out of funds to, fund the business. And then I went and got a boring warehouse job for a couple months. But I'm recently starting to try to get back into it and actually take it seriously this time.
How hard is it for a fighter to make a living in the fight game?
Pretty damn hard, unless you're at the top making big money to fight. It's pretty hard. Most guys have to work full time, and train full time before they make it.
It's like you have to be in it for the love it for
Yeah,
a long time. It seems like,
yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Don't get
and
into
that's why I
fighting to get
respect it.
rich.
Yeah,
Yeah. You have to do it for the
yeah.
love
Because I
of it.
mean,
The money will come later, as long as you build what you need to
yeah,
build and things. And maybe that comes in different forms. It might not be fight purses, but brand deals. Like there's different
yeah,
ways to
yeah,
make money later, but when you're fighting, it has to be for the love of it.
yeah. And that's why I respect y'all guys so much. I just see so many of y'all, you know, working a regular 9 to 5. Y'all got families, trying to take care of your family. Then you gotta take time to stay in shape, and then you gotta take time to work on your fight game, your skills.
Hmm.
It's a lot that goes into it. It just, I come from a musician background originally, and back in the
Okay.
days, that's what we did it for, is for the love. It was never
Hmm.
about making money. But that's all changed in the music business now. You got guys that start rapping last week and think they supposed to be making money this week off of it, and it's like,
Right.
yo, dude, you ain't even done nothing yet.
Right.
So finally, when the bell rings at Fenway Park, what should fans expect?
Fast-paced violence. They should definitely expect fast-paced violence.
Yeah, I'm excited for this one. I'm excited for this whole card. I think
Yeah,
it's a
it's a good
really good
card.
stat card. I know you got Rico's fighting on this card. Is
Hmm.
that when you would like to try to get back?
Yeah, yeah. I definitely would like to get that one back. Uh, Him and I already talked about it. Actually, that night after the fight, we shared some drinks and talked. He's a really good guy. I have nothing but respect for him, but our paths will definitely cross again. I think that'll probably be, after he goes and wins a world title. I think that'd be exactly when I want to run that back. After a few wins of my own, and he's sitting there with a belt.
I think you took him the longest so far in the square circle, right?
Hmm. Yeah,
Like, cause I don't think he had 5 rounds in any other fights. And from my opinion, I mean, he looks like a very tough opponent.
yeah, yeah. He was tough.
And that was a really good fight, man. Yeah. And I seen I don't know if you've seen, but James Brown is not
Yeah, I
part of
saw that.
BKFC no more.
I was kind of surprised to see that. That was someone that I was looking at wanting to fight as well.
That would have been a good one too. James is more like technician than I know you would definitely make it uncomfortable for him probably.
Right,
Yeah, and I think that just makes more room too for the that division now, because he was a ranked guy, so somebody's gonna have to take that spot.
right.
And I know the fighters, y'all don't really care about the rankings, but you know, I think the
Well, I
fight
think some of them,
promotions
some of
do.
them, some. I think some of the fighters that are ranked do because they don't seem to want to fight each other.
Oh, okay, that makes sense. That makes
Yeah,
sense.
I think
There's a
that's
lot of
some of the
guys in that
problem.
division
Yeah,
that haven't fought each other yet. Like James could have
exactly.
fought Duran or something like that already.
Yeah, exactly. I think that's the problem with the featherweight division is half of these ranked guys are too scared to actually fight and, defend their rank or try to move up. They want to sit around and wait until, Feldman calls or Shook calls and has that offer for Kai Stewart. But at the end of the day, like, I don't know. I'd rather stay busy, earn your spot. Don't think just because you got it, you can sit there and wait. This just holds up the division.
Because I'm looking at all the ranked guys right now, and they already took James off of the. They ain't wasting no damn time, man. And I ain't really like the way they announced it either. It was like because he didn't
Yeah,
know it was going to be done like that. But none of these guys that are ranked fought each other yet. Like Nathan Rivera versus Plaziolo
right,
or
right.
Brian Duran or Gaffey or any of these guys. So you're right about that. Now, what's your opinion on Kai Stewart? I mean, he's right now he's the guy to beat, man.
Yeah, I don't know. Honestly, I think he's a bum. I think he's a bum that just has the system figured out. Um, however,
What do you
like I don't know
what do you
how
mean
I don't
by
know.
that? Like the system figured out, like the
Yeah,
point
so
system, right? The point
yes,
system, right?
yes,
Yeah.
because he does this little pitter patter bullshit where he's just tapping people on the side, landing these little rabbit punches. But it's supposed to be significant strikes, and significant means that damage is supposed to be done. So, but you
Yeah.
see the punch scores in his fights, and they're just astronomical. Then clearly they're counting stuff that's not significant. Um,
Yeah.
otherwise he wouldn't be winning. He hasn't finished anybody that he fought. Every
Nope.
fight's a decision, and
Not
it's
in a
all
while.
off of the little pitter patter. You know,
Yeah.
I don't think he could punch his way out of a wet paper bag.
What do you think it is that these guys ain't been able to figure out? Because I know personally, man, from inside sources that they definitely wanted Howard Davis to beat this guy, especially with Howard
Yeah,
his sponsor at the time, and that didn't happen. They definitely thought Duran was going to do it, and that didn't happen.
I think some of it is they allow the clown to get in their head, and they want to knock him out so bad that they're trying too hard
They're
to
trying
land
too
that shot
hard.
or
Yeah,
whatever. Yeah, and then he just keeps tying them up, wrestle them down till they're tired, and then he'll start to open up his striking more. But he doesn't do that until he already has you tired. Well, I'm
yeah.
a wrestler too, and I went a lot further in wrestling than he did, and I would throw him around that ring and knock him out. That's what I think about Kai Stewart.
He feels like the most hated guy in bare knuckle right now.
I think he tries to be. I mean, he's smart, right? It's good marketing for him.
Yeah,
He's talked about a lot, and ultimately that's what you want when you're in the spotlight, right?
he's gotten cockier and cockier ever since that Howard Davis fight.
Yeah,
It's like if somebody don't beat this guy soon, I mean, he's gonna try to become an actual dictator because he went from Kai Hefty Bag
yeah. Now, yeah,
Stewart to
right,
King Kai. It's he's. I mean, that's the thing. Until somebody beats him, I mean, what you gonna say? The guys, he's
right.
the
He keeps
champ,
winning.
man.
Yeah, he keeps winning. I'll give him that.
And I think this Harry fight. I think actually. So I mean, that's the thing. You're actually on this card too. What? How do you think this main event goes?
That's a good question. I think Harry is definitely more of a puncher. I think he can put Kai's lights out, but at the same time, I've thought that about other people in the division, such as Howard Davis. I thought that he was going to beat up
That
on
he was
Kai,
gonna do it. Yeah.
and Kai found a way to wrestle him and win. So it really depends. I think it could go either way.
There's a few fights on this that really is important for your division because Rico versus Trey Martin. Like if Trey Martin gets the upset, yo,
Yeah, over
gosh,
Nathan
like,
Rivera, that was a good fight.
and he so what if he gets one over Rico? Though I'm just hypothetical. Like you would have to
Right.
throw this guy in the rankings,
Yeah.
and then so you're fighting at lightweight though on this one.
Yeah. This one's at 155.
Okay, okay. I mean, so you had to come up and wait, right?
Yeah.
What's harder, coming up in weight or going down? Seems like going down in weight is a lot harder.
Yeah, yeah, it is. So for me at the time when they asked me about what weight I wanted to go for my next fight originally, I was just
Uh-huh.
under 190 pounds.
Okay.
So I was like, yeah, I don't want to go through another rough cut. Let's go to 155 for this one. And
Yeah.
Peter Barrett's the name they gave me. Um,
Okay.
but now I'm walking around much leaner. I'll have a super easy cut, which I'm looking forward to. Because my cut with Rico was a pretty rough cut. Um,
Okay.
yeah,
And that's a part of the game that really kind of it takes. I can tell it takes so much out of y'all guys. Some people say they don't get to the weight to the very day of weigh-in.
hmm
So you spending so much time with the weight cut, it just drains so much energy from you, and then you get in there and you're already exhausted before you even get in the fight.
yeah,
But I mean, as part of, I guess it's the only way to almost kind of get a lot of fights though is to be able to fight a couple weight classes. I'm trying to figure out how Lorenzo Hutt does what he does, like, because this guy's bouncing from three different weight classes, if I'm not mistaken.
yeah.
All right. Let's see where we at. We hit the 35 mark. Who, in your opinion, who's the best? Do you think Lorenzo Hunt's the best bare knuckle fighter in BKFC, or do you think somebody else is?
Yeah, I'd say probably Lorenzo. I mean, I think he kind of has the credentials to prove it too, right? First three division champion.
Yeah.
Um, and I think he's like 15-2, like something like that.
Yeah. Let me
Um,
see. Let me see what his record is.
13
14
and
and
2
2,
maybe.
close.
14
14
2,
and
yeah.
2.
Yeah,
That's a
and I
pretty
think like
good bare knuckle record.
yeah, I think 12 or 13 of those are knockouts, you know what I mean? Um, so
Yeah,
yeah,
he got
I think he
KOs after KOs or
yeah,
TKOs or KOs.
yeah.
The only unanimous decision really is the guy he said it was the toughest opponent for him is Hector Lombard.
Okay.
He he done beat Dyer twice. He done beat Kamosi, Mike
Yeah,
Richmond, one of my
yeah,
favorites, Redneck Mandel,
yeah.
Joe Riggs, which that was hilarious when he put the smushed the tomato in his face. How much are you into calling guys out?
Um,
You don't seem like a call a guy out person. You seem pretty
yeah,
humble just
yeah,
talking to you.
I try to be humble. But I need to do more of that stuff, you know, because that's the stuff that sells.
Yeah.
And I got I got a name or two in mind after this one. I get on that mic. I got a name or two in mind.
And that seems like the thing now. If you win the fight, Chris Lato comes over with the mic, you gotta take that time to really, try to shine.
Yeah,
Cause that's why I think
yeah,
Lex
sell
Ludlow
yourself.
is winning. Lex Ludlow,
hmm
he ain't fought nobody that really matters to me, but every time he gets the mic, I mean, this
Yeah,
guy calling
he
himself
sells
the most
himself.
hated
Yeah,
man in combat sports. Nobody hates the guy,
right.
but you got to sell it, man. Yeah, you're actually more humble than I expected. You kind of remind me of like Andrew Strode, like how humble you are.
Thank you.
But your fighting style isn't humble though, so definitely not. Before we go, do you got any shout outs you would like to do? Any sponsors or maybe your coaches or team members or something?
Yeah, quick shout out to Bosco Family Chiropractic. He's been a long supporter of mine. And then Coach Josh Hummer at Tactical Combat Academy and all of my teammates there, always helping me stay ready for war, you know. Um, yeah, I appreciate all those people.
Well, I appreciate you taking the time out. We will be recapping that fight card. We do recaps every day after the fight card, so I can't wait to recap that one. Like I said, it's a very stacked card on here. Anyways, a lot of names I'm familiar with. So
Yeah, I'm excited and thanks for having me. It's been a pleasure.
anytime, anytime, and I hope you enjoy the rest of your night, man.
Thank you. You too. God bless.
All right, take it easy, Elijah. Peace. All right, there you have it. Elijah, the Buffalo Soldier Harris. Let's see who's on Instagram. Shouts out to Keith Officer Richardson, 4-Pack Entertainment, Dave, M. Tetralt, probably pronounced that wrong. The Van Askies, Big Ben 316, appreciate you. Sam Raps, Mickey 2, Gunzo BC, Trinidad Snake, Carlos, appreciate you. Brandon Bouchard, appreciate you. Julio the Cuban Lover, appreciate you. Hype Tough Still, Paul August 7795, Trixie Treasure, what is that? Ote, BKFC, and Fuck It Marshall. Appreciate you as usual. Let's go over this fight card real quick before we go. Of course, next week you got what ain't next week? 21st, which is like 9 days from now, is BKFC Fight Night Mohegan Sun. But this is one Boston, that is August 29th. That's 8 days after the Mohegan Sun. This is the one Elijah's on. Really good card. I mean, you got Kai Stewart versus Harry Gigliotti. Big fight for that division. Co-main event, women's bantamweight, Christine Faria versus Sophia Landy for the Queen of Violence. Joe Lazone makes his BKFC debut versus Stash Kuykendall. Rico DeShulio versus Trey Martin. Trey Martin had the upset over Nathan Rivera, looking to try to get upset over Rico. That's going to be a tough one, though. Rico is a tough guy, and that was Elijah Harris's last opponent. That went 5 rounds. Pat Casey versus Dallas Davison. Pat Casey's 4-2. Dallas is 5-4. I mean, 9 fights in the BKFC. Charles Rosa versus Sharon Spain. Peter Barrett versus Elijah Harris. Of course, Peter Barrett's 5'10", Harris is 5'7", but it's only a 2-inch difference in the reach. Taylor Starling versus Kat Paprocki, who I recently interviewed. Go check that interview out as well. Kat's 2-1, looking to go to 3-1, and Taylor's 6-4. I mean, if she wins this one, I mean, she'll be 7-4. That's a pretty good bare knuckle record, man, men or women division. You got Guilherme Viana versus Robinson Perez. Interested to see this one. Robinson Perez ain't even fought yet, already making a name for himself when he grabs the mic. James Murin versus Chris Rooney, and Jake Pilla versus Angelo Colon. And you got Shane Jordan versus co-host on Bare Knuckle Recap Show, Daniel Tower Dog Pettit. I'm definitely excited for my guy Dan, man. He been wanting to fight for a while now, man. It's been when was the last time they gave Dan a fight? He been clamoring for a fight. So he last fought August 2nd, last Sturgis, versus Trayvon Kroger, who just fought in Sturgis this time and got a win. And yeah, man, I can't wait. Can't wait to see. And you got David Burke versus David Simpson, who I interviewed a while back. Go check out that interview as well. And I need to bring on David Simpson back on here soon as well. And there's a lot more people I need to just set up with interviews. I might have to go with doing hour shows and 2 interviews at a time. We'll see. All right, we're about to wrap it up. That's the BKC Boston card. Of course, you got Hollywood, BKC 93 Hollywood, BKC 94 Manchester, BKC Belgrade. That's in Serbia. Still got Newark, Clearwater, and Glasgow, and no telling what other fight cards they're gonna have as well. Appreciate everybody tune in, and don't know when my next interview is yet, but the next recap will be the day after the Mohegan Sun card. Normally we do them anywhere from like 2 to 6 p.m. But appreciate y'all tuning in. Shouts out to Elijah Harris. Wish him the best of luck in his fight, and I can't wait to see this one and really see the whole fight card. It's gonna be exciting. Thank y'all for tuning in. Peace, and I'm out.